Alright, today's topic is topic number 10. We are in our Unit 1C notes packet, topic number 10. So we are going to focus today on balancing equations. And when I say balance, we're talking about balancing on either side of the equal sign. So right away, and actually in all of these problems, why don't you go ahead and put a dotted line right through the equal sign. And I want you to think about every problem has a left side and a right side. And we're going to work on how to balance these equations. Now, the reason that we're calling this balancing equations rather than solving, like our last unit, is because we now have variables on both sides of the equal sign, so that makes it a little bit tricky. So our strategy is going to change slightly. So I want you to take a look at the first problem up here, and I just want you to notice that we have a variable on the left of 5x, and we have another x, but it's on the right. And I want to write a little note here that we can only combine like terms on the same side. So what we're going to do is that we are going to collect the variables on one side of the equation, and then we're going to collect our constants, like 8 and 16, on the other. So here we're going to just start this problem. So if you haven't already, make sure that you draw the dotted line right down the middle. You can write the word left and right, and we're going to talk about how to balance this equation. So again, I want you to pay attention that there is a 5x on the left, and there is a 7x on the right, and we can't just combine those. We have to first get them to one side. So I can either choose to get them to the left side or to the right side. And actually, one thing that my colleague always says, and this is bad advice in real life, but good advice in math, he says always pick on the little guy. So we have a 5x and we have a 7x. And now the 5x is smaller. So I'm going to pick on the smaller of the two, and I'm going to take that 5x, and to get rid of it, I'm going to subtract it from the left. Look how it crosses out. And I have to keep my equation balanced, so I'm also going to subtract it from the right. And now I'm going to rewrite my equation. So this 8 up here, we didn't touch. So I bring the 8 down. I also bring the equal sign down. Now I do this little math problem, 7 minus 5x, 7x minus 5x, that gives me 2x. And then this 16, we also didn't touch, so I get a plus 16. At this point, your equation looks just like the equations we solved in Unit 1B. So to solve this equation, I am going to subtract 16 to cancel it, and subtract 16. And here I have 8 minus 16, which is negative 8. Bring down my equal sign, and then I have a 2x. The last step to solving this equation would be to divide by 2, and divide by 2 cancels these 2's, and I get x equals negative 8 divided by 2, which is negative 4. Now we found our solution. We know our solution means if I take this negative 4, if I were to plug it in my original equation, it would make that equation true. Alright, let's look at the next one. I'm going to, again, look at where I have x's. I have an x on the left, a 5x, and I also have an x on the right, an x. Now, a 1x, sorry. So now my x on the right is smaller than my x on the left. So I'm going to pick on the smaller one. I'm going to subtract x to get rid of it, and I'm going to subtract x over here. That leaves me with 5x minus x, which is 4x. Bring down my minus 9 and my equal sign, and then my x is canceled, so I just have a positive 11. And now we can solve this just like last unit by adding 9 to both sides. These cancel. I get 4x equals 11 plus 9 is 20. Divide by 4 and divide by 4. And I get x equals 20 divided by 4, which is 5. Alright, so we have a couple more equations that we're going to do the exact same thing for here. So I'm going to draw a straight line down the middle. I'm going to look at my variables, a positive 3x and a negative 2x. And I'm going to do the same thing as before. I'm going to pick on the little guy, which is my negative 2x. Now, to get rid of a negative 2x, this might be a little bit confusing. It's a negative 2x. So to cancel it out, I need a positive 2x. Those are opposites. and a positive 2x on the left. And now what I'm left with is 3x plus 2x, which is 5x. I have a plus 2, bring down my equal sign, and I have a positive 17. Then I can finish solving this. Subtract 2, subtract 2. I get 5x equals 17 minus 2 is 15. Then divide both sides by 5, and I get x equals 15 divided by 5 is 3. Alright, next one, I'm going to draw my line. Now I'm going to think about which one of these I'm going to pick on. Now this is a little bit tricky. I want you to think about which one is smaller. Now 8 is a bigger number, but negative 8 is smaller than negative 2. It's further to the left on a number line. So I'm actually, in this case, going to get rid of my negative 8 by adding 8x to both sides. Now this idea of always choosing the smaller side, you can solve it either way. This just maybe will make it a little bit easier for you. So negative 8x and positive 8x I'll cancel. I have a positive 3, my equal sign. I have a negative 2x plus 8x. That ends up with positive 6x and a minus 15. Alright, now to solve this equation, I'm going to add 15 to both sides. And 15 plus 3, I get 18 equals 6x. Divide both sides by 6, and I get 3 equals x, or x equals 3. Alright, so down here at the bottom, let me just make sure, yeah. These look a little bit different, but they still have this x on one side and x on the other side, and we have to decide, where's my other x here, which one is smaller. Now, in this case, I'm going to go with our same theory and say negative 2x is smaller. I'm going to add 2x to both sides. I'm going to draw my line down my equal sign. And what I'm left with is 4x plus 2x, that's 6x, plus 6, and equals, remember I got negative 2x plus 2x is actually 0, right? They cancel each other out. So this equation looks kind of weird. I have 6x plus 6 equals 0. We're going to keep solving it like normal. I'm going to get rid of this positive 6 by subtracting 6. And I get 6x equals 0 minus 6 is negative 6. Divide by 6, and I get x equals negative 1. Alright, last equation here. One more time, we have a 5x on the left, and I have a 3x on the right. I'm going to pick on the smaller of the two, which is the 3. I'm going to subtract 3x and subtract 3x. I'm going to draw my line right down the middle. Okay, my 3x's cancel. 5x minus 3x is 2x equals, and now all I have over here is a negative 2. So we only have one more step to solve this. Divide by 2, divide by 2, and I get x equals negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. That's my final answer. So your homework assignment that goes with these notes is homework number 12. So you guys should be doing homework number 12 in your 1C packet to practice this skill. All right, good luck.